Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with another reaction video. I asked and Runar delivered, so I'm going to check this out, even though it's probably not going to have a whole lot for me to talk about. We're still going to dig in and see what's up with Shook Ones, Part 2, Mobb D. Let's dig in and see what's up. I had asked because this is what Adam used for his Shook Ones remix, right? So I wanted to see what it was. Runar delivered. Let's dig it up. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is awesome. That I,
Yo, don't we gotta get this loot up. World is born, son.
uh,
Yeah, to all the killers and $100 billers. For real, niggas who ain't got no feelings. Check it out now.
this is back in the game days too, bro. Like I remember these days. There's a lot of people out there that don't remember these days, but I remember when life was like this. So, hey, there's a whole lot of people that think life now is tough and bad, but they don't remember crack in the 80s and 90s, bro. Like, and we're not going to get into who put that there because we all know who put that there, and it was a terrible thing, and it did not need to happen, but it was there. And what happened was not confined to any skin tone. I knew just as many people with the same skin tone as me and lighter that were just as strung out on the same stuff, right? But it was an intentional thing. It wasn't meant to be that way, right? So we're not going to get into that whole argument because I might get kicked off of YouTube. I don't believe a lot of the mainstream things about that, but like I lived in this life. Like I remember this. I wasn't in New York City in the hood, right? Like I was out towards the country. But I remember this being a real thing. I remember when New York was a very dangerous place. I mean, it's getting there again, but for the last 30 years, it's been relatively safe there. Right? It was not back here. Like it was not, right? There were large portions of our country that was not safe back in this day. And a lot of people have it glorified and they don't remember, but it was pretty terrible in a lot of places.
I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers. The mob comes equipped for warfare. Beware of my crime family who got enough shots to share for all those who want to profile and pose. Rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. You all alone in these streets, cousin. Every man for theyself in his land, we be gunning. And keep them shook crews running like they supposed to.
That's the truth, though.
They come around, but they never come close to.
Like, I ain't trying to act like I was in a gang or any of that stuff, right? I lived right on the outskirts of all this. I was right next to biker gangs and street gangs and, like, all kinds of wildness because I lived right on the edge where I sold things, but I was not committed to anybody. So I'm not ever trying to portray that I was in a gang,
I can see it in.
but this was life, right? Like even in Baton Rouge, as small as it was back then, this kind of stuff was happening.
Inside your face, you're in the
And now, I mean now, Baton Rouge is one of the most dangerous places to be. Like North Baton Rouge is not a nice place.
wrong place. Cowards like you just get their whole body laced up with bullet holes and such. Speak the wrong words, man, and you will get touched. You could put your whole army against my team, and I guarantee you it'll be your very last time breathing. Your simple words just don't move me. You're minor, we major. You're all up in the game and don't deserve to be a player. Don't make me have to call your name out. Your crew is featherweight. My gunshots will make you levitate. I'm only 19, but my mind is older. When the things get for real, my warm heart turns cold. Enough nigga deceased, another story is told. It ain't nothing really. And yo, done sparked the Philly, so I could get my mind off these yellow back niggas. While they still alive, I don't know. Go figure. Meanwhile, back in Queens, the realness and foundation. If I die, I couldn't choose a better location when it's.
How sad is this though? Right? Like back in the day, back when I was in high school and going into adulthood, this would have been the shit. I would have been like, yeah. And now I listen to this and I think about the impact that this has had, right? Think about the impact, right? break it down as if there were only one song in rap, and it was this one, and everybody was influenced from this one, would you see good or bad in the world? And you can literally take this and extrapolate from what he's saying, right? You can make it more detailed, and you would get today. It's inevitable that the outcome of the intake of this would give you the output of today. It's inevitable, and it's terrible, and it's so damn sad. And it's not like, I'm not casting aspersions on a person or a group, because I don't believe in your groups, right? To me, we're all human. To me, we all belong to God. God created every single one of us. So it is horribly sad to me every time anyone gets shot by anyone. I hate it. I know that it is necessary sometimes, but for the most part, when it happens, it's senseless, it's stupid, and it makes no damn sense. Money will come again. Someone else's life will not. And the whole situation of having to deal with that for the rest of your life, taking somebody else's life, is a heavy fucking burden, people. Don't do it. I love it, right? Because this is people expressing themselves, and this was the birth of a genre, right? This is the beginning of something, but man. And again, I'm not casting aspersions, right? This is your life. This is what you live. Man. And to think about the intentionality of where it came from, like and people are out there and they will tell you that I'm wrong when I tell you that you vote for it. Like the same people who did it to you are the same ones that got that D behind their names. The same ones that wrote the bills to prosecute it are the same ones that were ordering it to be brought into the fucking country. Like, I'm just saying.
Getting closer to God in a tight situation now. Take these words home and think it through. Or the next rhyme I write might be about you. Son, they shook. Cause ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death and scared to look. They shook. Cause ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death and scared to look. Living the life that is diamonds and guns.
I've got a question. I want y'all to answer me, right? Out of this group of young men right here, how many of them are still with us, right? They're older than me, right? They'd be pushing, what, about 50, 55, 65, roughly. So maybe one has died of natural causes, but most likely they should all still be alive. Are they? How many of these original people right here, like, I don't know their names. I don't even know how to really find their names. I want to know, though, how many of them are still alive? I'm just curious. And, like, it's horribly sad to me, right? This is why I don't do these type of videos on my channel, right? This is why. Because where it leads to is where we are. And that's scary, bruv. And the beat's high. Like, they're telling you that if you don't die for the dope game, you're a coward. God forbid you don't represent a phone number, though, right? 225, baby. Like, I call it too, right? But it ain't like I'm riding for 225. I'm riding for freedom, and that's a wrap.
Rhyme I write is 25 to life. But with so much I got some trust safeguard in my life. Ain't no time for hesitation. The only leads to incarceration.
Like, so much talent.
There's no relation, Queensbridge, and you don't play. I don't got time for your petty thinking, mine, son. I'm bigger than those. Claiming that you pack heat, but you're scared to hold. And when the smoke clears, you be left with one and you don't. 13 years in the projects, my mentality is what, kid? You talk a good one, but you don't want it. Sometimes I wonder, do I deserve to live? Or am I going to burn to hell for all the things I dig? No time to dwell on that because my brain reacts.
If you're interested in the answers to that, you should definitely check out, I think it's on this side, my Bible study. It's a little unconventional. It's not for everybody, but for the people it's for, it is definitely helpful.
Front if you want, kid, lay on your back. I child's place, kid, you out of line. Criminal minds thirsty for recognition. I'm sipping, E&J got my mind flipping. I'm bucking, digging my ways out of hope for hustling. Get that loot, kid, you know my function. Cause long as I'm alive, I'm live illegal. And once I get on them, I put on all my peoples. React with lyrics like Max, I hit your dome up when I roll it through.
Putting them on what though? I hope music, right? Music can get you out of there. So many people have used it to get out of there.
Put on all my peoples, react with lyrics like Max, I hit your dome up when I roll it through beat, go sleep because I'm free. Son ain't shook, this ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death and scared to look, they shook. This ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death and scared to look, they shook. This ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to...
And that there ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. That's a real thing too. Cause like the reason I never got involved is because I didn't have the commitment level to stay where I needed to be in that, right? I didn't. And I'm fine with that now, but once upon a time I thought that was a deficiency, right? I thought it was weird of me to not want to shoot random people.
Death is scared to look, they shook. This ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Living the life that comes with guns. There's numerous ways you can choose to earn funds. Some get shot, locked down, and turn guns. Cowardly hearts and
I don't know, man. It came from the roof, Bill. Well, up, man. Got up in the car. Listen, get on the car, man. That's it. Don't. Who was it, yo? Did that, son? This came from the roof, yo. Let's go get him, man, right now, man. Let's go get him.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that's gonna hurt your feelings. Chances are that the robbery was set up by somebody in that room right there. Cause that is the game. Alright. I'm glad I got to see this. As sad as it makes me, and it really does. Like, I understand the influence on the culture, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't like that part of the culture, right? I don't mind the soul food. I don't mind standing up for yourself at all. I don't mind the fact that people use crime to get out of shitty situations at all. I don't mind that. I understand that. I fully do. What I don't like is the trap. And not just the house with the people in it, right? I'm talking about the whole keep the system kicking. The system is holding you back, but the system is you. And not you specifically. I'm never judging anybody in particular. Like, it's the people selling dope. And I can call them people out because I did that shit. Right? It's the people glorifying violence, and I can call that shit out because I did that. I call it out because it's terrible. It's killing people. What is it giving you? You get a little bit of money, you get a fucking car, right? You get a little bump in the car, you get a little bit going for you, and somebody takes it from you. And you're in that car down a dirt road, and somebody finds you 6 months later. Like, there's nothing in the game except getting the fuck out as quick as you can. There's nothing in it for you, I promise. Hey, there's good money. I give you that, but you got to sleep. Not at all, right? You got to be ready at all times. You got to have that piece close. You got to look every time you walk out your door. Right? You got to be hyper vigilant all the damn time. Why? It sucks to have to work every single day, right? It sucks to have to work 9 to 5 or 6 to 4, whatever it is, right? I've been there. I worked 16-hour shifts 300 days one year. Right? I can't work anymore. I wish to God I could get up and go to work. I wish I could be reliable enough to work at McDonald's. I'm not. I got back problems. It can take me out like that at any point. It happens. I would give my left nut to be able to go back to work. I could, when I got injured, have jumped back into this game. I had the offers come in. I had the fronts available. I could have done it, and I chose not to. We didn't eat as well as we could have because I chose not to. I understand people choosing it. I understand poverty on a level that most people don't. I grew up so poor that the welfare kids picked on us. We got commodities in a box. We got some cheese and some powdered sugar and some Rice Krispies that didn't have no name, and some cornflakes that didn't have no name. I grew up, my mama had to steal ketchup packs to make us tomato soup. And sometimes we didn't even have that. I know poverty on an intimate level. I have had cockroaches for pets. I know the smell of a fucking cockroach house. Like, I've had them bitches crawl on my face while I was asleep. I don't have that now. I understand the struggle, bruh. I understand the temptation, but that is a temptation that is going to kill you. That makes me sad. I don't even know you, and it breaks my heart. I'm glad that I got to see this. I really am. Runar, thank you. It brought me back to a time. I hate that time. Right? The 80s were great for some things, but they were terrible for a lot. The 90s were great for some things, but there was a lot of shit that was really bad. We make progress, hopefully, but somehow, some way, we're going backwards. And in large part, it is for the mentality contained in this song right here. And that saddens me. How did we go from Marvin Gaye to this? I'm just saying. Much love. I'm not mad. I'm not, like, I'm praying. That's what I'm doing, because these are my people too. Y'all make sure y'all get back and show some love. The link is down below. It always is. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt's Take. Peace.